All right, guys, so super quick video doing brakes on the 4Runner today. I'm at 116,000 miles. I'm learning the brakes may have not needed to be done, but I figured it was time and I had them. So obviously I already got the tire off, got a floor jack, a jack stand, and the tires under there for safety, all the good stuff. I've got the other side done already. And just to compare, those are the brakes that came off. They're the new ones that are going on. And I got another video that explains which brake pads to get, and I'll link it below or put a card up here, but you want to make sure you get these part numbers. So these are the fronts, these are the rears. Important to get those part numbers. So I am not doing the rotors. Everybody seems to do them all the time. You don't have to if you are not below the minimum thickness. These measured out at 1.27. I believe the minimum thickness is 1.2 or 1.11. I'll put it on the screen. I don't recall, but I know I checked it. So I'm not replacing them. There is no lip. They're smooth. My nail doesn't even catch on the edge. No reason to replace those. So gonna do a quick, just replace the pads. All right, so I am not a mechanic, not a professional. If brakes are something you are not comfortable doing, by all means, take them to a professional. I've done brakes on every rig I've owned. I've done a lot of brakes, and I will say this 4Runner is by far the easiest, simplest. I'm actually kind of blown away how easy they make it. So here we are, got the pads, and let's tear into it. And I took a picture of the spring orientations. Here, let me take a picture and I'll put it in the video. So there was a picture just to remember the orientation of this spring back here that retains the pins, and this spring right here. It's actually really simple. So let's tear into it here. All right, it's a little tricky trying to get an angle to where you can see what's going on, but I think we're at it. Without having to replace the rotor, it is super simple. You don't have to actually even remove the caliper. Even if you did, there's plenty of videos that show you how to do that. It's 2 bolts on the backside, but because we're not replacing the rotor and just the pads, we don't have to remove the caliper. So we start by removing this spring in the back. Which simply comes out of the pins. This is just a retainer for the pins. And then start to remove this spring in the middle just by removing the arms here. Sorry, it's a little awkward with the angle because I got the camera in the way here, but this spring actually won't come out until you pull the pins, which you can do now. Once the bottom pin's pulled out, this spring comes out. And at this point, the pads will actually slide right out of the top, but I like to compress the pistons in the caliper because these pads are obviously thinner than new ones, so you've got to make room. And it's best to do it now while you've got your old pads in there so you don't damage the new ones. And I simply grab them with channel locks. There's tricks to do this with C-clamps, all sorts of different methods, but this just works. I see it's loosened it up. It'll actually slide out of there, but get both sides. This doesn't take much force. I'm by no means giving it all of the beans here. If those moved, and I may have to move them a little bit more, but these pads pull, well, kind of right out. Tight tolerance fit, so I almost got to come straight out. These ones were pretty good still too, but I've had those new pads for a couple years in preparation for this, and it doesn't hurt to do them. Basically, I had a free day today, and I'd rather do them now than a day that I plan to do something else. Yeah, these pads are still plenty of life left. So that is the old pads out. Let's get the new ones in. Don't forget the shims. Just take the old shims and put them back in the way they came out. right, that's it. With the pads in, reinsert the pins. Kind of orient the holes the directions they need to go. It just makes it easier to find them later. It is possible to push the pads in too far, so if you do, you just got to tap them in to line up the holes, but we got these pretty close. Don't forget this retainer clip before you slide in the bottom pin, or you will not get it in there. And it goes this way. Go ahead and set this clip where it goes. Place the retainer clip in the back. Goes through the holes in the pins. Slide it into the caliper. And that's the entire front brakes. They are done. Literally just putting the wheel back on. So let me throw the wheel back on and we'll go to the rears. All right, so onto the rear, which is a little more work. I've already done the driver's side. We're on the passenger side, but here are the pads that came out of the driver's side compared to the new ones. So again, I still had some life left, but it doesn't hurt to do them. And you'll notice that same part numbers, new and old. So again, make sure you get the right pads because you want the ones that came on these from Japan, not the replacement ones the dealers install when you get a brake job. So let me see if I can get this camera in a position to show how this is done. Again, the rear, even if you're not doing the rotor, you have to replace or remove the caliper. There's two 17mm bolts on the backside, so it's really not that big of a deal. Don't lose the washer. Each bolt has a washer, so make sure you don't lose it. All right, with the piston collapse, there's room to fit the new pads in. This can be a little bit of a chore or test of patience, but just take your time, it'll go in there. Don't forget your shims. That's backwards. Don't forget your shims. Transfer over any springs. And this was the inner side. Forget the shim on the outer spring. Sometimes you got to pry them off there because they're on there wedged pretty good. Both pads are in. Caliper right back into place. Sometimes you got to be a little creative with it. And then reinstall the two bolts on the backside. Don't forget your washer. And always thread these in by hand as far as you can. I've seen these strip out. I don't know if it's a weird metal, but don't put a wrench on them until you can get them threaded in and you know you're not cross-threading them. So you can look up torque specs for your rig. It seems to vary from year to year. I just did those at 74, which is what I can find online for this year 4Runner with the 17mm bolt. Apparently there's different size bolts, take different torque specs. So anyways, that's it. Brakes are on. Let's throw this wheel back on, torque those down, and we're done. And then we're gonna break them in. All right, so wheels, tires, everything's back on, everything's torqued, tools are put away. All I gotta do now is brake in the pads. So it's a pretty simple process, and there's a lot of people with debate on it. Sometimes some people say just go drive it. I like to just go drive around town, get up to, 45, 50, brake pretty hard without coming to a complete stop, not locking them up, but just kind of seating the brakes and good to go. So that's it. That's a quick how you do the brake pads on a 4Runner. Pretty simple. Again, easiest rig I've ever done brakes on. So see you on the next one.